Hello and welcome back to a brand new artist profile, the first after my long 2-week break. Today I am joined by my personal hero, Robo Dukun, also known as Thomas Holden. How are you, Thomas? Yeah, not too shabby, cheers mate. So we'll just fucking jump straight into this. And for those English, those of them who, oh my god, I will cut this out, I'm so sorry. For those out there who don't know who you are, please tell us who you are.
I am Robo Dukun, so I am a psychedelic funk kind of artist. I use loop pedals and stuff live, guitar, bass, synth. Talk about my brain, but I play a character, so you can't tell. But I've just given it away, and yeah, just all sorts really.
Nice. Yeah, that's the one thing that obviously watching your stuff that I'm so amazed at is the fact that you literally do everything. Obviously through your live streams that I'll make sure to include links below. But in your live streams, everything is done by just you. And although that there's sort of people out there who do that, such as Mark Riblet, I, that's it. Yeah. Yes, fantastic, man. I definitely got sort of like Mark vibes from watching you as well. So yeah, I think that's so awesome. So the first question is, out of all the instruments that you do play, is there a particular one that you just favour?
Well, yeah, I'm a guitarist more than anything. I've been playing guitar since I was 12, so
Nice.
yeah. I do like a bit of bass, so yes, like picked up bass a few years after, and I don't really play much synth, like as in
Right.
ability wise. I've just got one, and it's
Mm.
pretty fun. So, yeah, I'd say guitar mainly is my go to.
Nice. Well, obviously, with just you doing all of your songs, sort of, how does a writing process for your songs come about? Because you've got obviously got your single "I Like the Way You Oscillate," and then you've got your EP as well. Do you just sort of play around and then expect something to come out, or do you sort of go in with the mindset of, right, this is how it's going to sound, and you sort of layer it out?
Oh yeah, just I hope something happens. Basically, depends what I've got set up. Say if I'm working from a loop pedal, then I'll normally I just love it. Ideas come out really quick because it's like a constant flow. There's no stopping and starting. You get the beat down, you get the bass line down. And even if the initial idea you weren't too happy with it, you'll hear it layered up before you get bored of it. So then it starts. But when I get the actual production side of things down, then it gets really obsessive, really lonely, um, pretty ridiculous. But yeah, one day hopefully it'll be worth it.
Yeah, I definitely think so. Like the one thing that makes you really stand out for me personally, anyway, is that although I can hear influences of things like we said with Mark and whatnot, it seems just you. I don't listen and go, oh, that sounds like a complete rip off of such and such. It's such a personalized sound that has got so much charisma from you that you've put in. So yeah, like I think definitely in terms of being original and gaining attention, that I think that's something that you'll definitely succeed at because you've just got that nice presence. Do you know what I mean? Around you to sort of bring in the audience. Um,
So sorry, yeah. Well, one of the
no,
things
that's
I've been
right.
trying to do is get like a good combination of like character and musicianship because you only usually get one or the other. So like you get
Yeah.
super amazing musicians, but then they'll just be on stage like,
Half
and
dead.
it's yeah a bit robotic, which is great. I do get influence from that like playing wise, but then you've got Mark Rebier, well he does both. He's a great musician as well. Reggie
Mm.
Watts, but other just comedians and performers in general are more influential to me. So it's just
Yeah.
kind of like combining that and getting a nice little message out.
You speaking of the comedy aspect, and it sort of leads me on to my next question is my favorite song of yours, just because it's so ridiculous, but I just can't help but love it. Is "I Want My Dinner." It was the wackiest tune I've listened to in a while, and I was just going to ask with the names of your songs, because you've got I'm going to be so bad at this. Something Frontier. Is it Final Frontier?
Oh, latest frontier, yeah.
Yeah, that one. I Want My Dinner. I Like the Way You Oscillate. Oh God, I can't remember the other one.
Slumpy Dockins and Rum Jump.
That's the one. Yeah, I was just going to ask, like, with the names of your songs, is there any sort of anything behind it, or?
I try and come up with something like quite catchy or ridiculous. It's never serious.
Hmm.
I Want My Dinner was just, there's not that many lyrics in that song, and I suppose that's the key one. Rum Chump, very colloquial. I don't know how many people call each other like rum buggers and stuff, but around here.
I've never heard that personally.
Oh, really? Okay, so
Yeah,
maybe
man.
maybe that's just a shout out to Ashton Underline then. Yeah, just I like it the sort of name that I'd see and go, what's that? And then hopefully people actually find out.
Yeah, I think like obviously going back to how you stick out, and that's another thing is I feel in this current time, obviously everyone's trying to sort of be the best, but it all seems to be primarily indie bands. I find, especially in Manchester, it's just another indie band saying, "Oh, a girl broke up with me. I'm really sad. Here's another song about that," and they all seem to have very similar titles. And that's another thing that I think really sticks out for you is that it's so out of the ordinary that you just sort of it sticks with you. Do you know what I mean? Um, and I think that's good. Especially this is something that I had a conversation with a few other artists in my other artist profiles. Is that the fact that I feel that there's not a lot of originality these days. I feel like people are sort of trying to play off of each other. Like I said, I'm so used to just hearing indie bands non-stop that it's nice that someone like you sort of comes along and just brings this sort of fresh air to the music industry, especially in like the small town that we're in. So yeah, definitely I applaud you for that. You were saying about obviously comedy and playing a character. You currently have, correct me if I'm wrong, like official music videos. You have two, don't you? For
Yeah, official music video, yeah, kind of I just made them myself. But
yeah. How do you sort of get the idea for them? Because I've watched both of them, and it feels like, because obviously I don't really feel like you take it too seriously. It's sort of just have a fun, have a piss about, have a laugh sort of thing, and just try and make a fun experience not only audibly but visually as well.
yeah, so the first one, the Oscillate that we did, me and friend, I didn't he didn't know what he was doing. He'll be watching now, but he's not, he just isn't a professional cameraman. So but he's very encouraging. He laughs at anything anyone does. So I
Nice.
thought I'll get him to just press record and we'll just set it up on a stand. So that was encouraging. We just had a full day. We had a few beers, went out to the park, and yeah, just recorded loads of footage. And then I just did loads of zoom in and just made it ridiculous. And then I did have big plans for the Slumpy Dockins one, but obviously we weren't allowed outside at the time, so I just filmed it
Pandemic.
all in my room. But it kind of worked out well. It was a lot less time consuming. Well,
Mm.
personally, time consuming. It was more effort on my part, but I just got it done in one night, and then I don't know. Yeah, it's kind of same with making music. The creative process is as I'm making it, I'm coming up with it. Like I don't come up with something, then it's like bam. So I'll just like record a load of footage, see what I can do with it. I'm a lot less precious with the videos because I don't really know what I'm doing. So
Yeah, like I said, it has that just that really not carefree, but just I just want to have fun sort of element to it. It's just like you get all these serious videos, but it's I watched the Frontier one, I believe it was. I could be wrong. I'm really bad at this. Video before I actually spoke to you, and it's literally just you. Obviously, I'll show the video down below so you can see. It's literally just you sat in your room with a cactus and then pouring water into a cactus. That's it, Slumpy Dawkins. It's just you and a cactus, and then just pouring water into a cactus, and then just you playing, and it's just the weird zooms and everything. It's so simple, but you could just tell it's so much fun, and I think you can also tell that you had so much fun making it as well.
Up until a point, yeah. One point, I just do eventually realise that you just sat in a room stroking a cactus, filming yourself. But yeah, it was fun while the idea was fresh, and then there was a lot of doubt. But it's just something to put out. Yeah, it was fun.
Yeah, nice. Well, out of all the songs that you have, I can imagine, as I've said, obviously you write them all yourself and obviously you do all the instruments. Is there a particular song that you've written that has been the biggest fucking ball ache to do?
Ooh. Probably none that are out, because there are ones that I've spent years on, well, months, of just I once got into a funk of before I started at BIM, where I'd be spending like 12 to 14 hours every single day whilst working a full-time job. So not every day, but the days I could. Just obsessing over things, and then the longer I spent in it, it just got further away from the original idea, and then I just delete it. So it just be like months of my life, like just gone.
Just gone.
That still happens actually. It's not a but biggest ball ache, I'd say probably Oscillate, because it was a big learning curve. I didn't really know what I was doing with the mixing and stuff, and I just thought I really wanted to step up from things I'd released in the past, which I've deleted now. So there was a lot of trial and error with that. I'd kind of like, I finished, because I wrote that on my loop pedal, you can probably tell. But I finished it within like a few days, the actual chunk of it, and then the mix inside of it and the vocals, that took about 4 months, but every single day just going at it. Recorded the video, and then I just carried on trying to make the song better. And yeah, so we'll go for Oscillate. Yeah,
4 months for one song.
Yeah, just but the first few days I got it done, and then for the next 4 months I was just moving stuff about, and it's just I don't know. I'm gonna try and not do that in future.
I think it worked in the end, to be honest, because it sounds like it's a product that you're proud of, and especially after working for so fucking long on it, it must be something that is very sort of redeeming when you get to the end of it and you realise obviously what you've spent so long being created, and realise that, I mean, you said about obviously getting further and further away from the actual original idea. Is that something that happened with that song? Was that sort of sounding completely different when you first initially went into it?
Luckily no, because I did get like all the recording done, and the actual structure and everything that I was really happy with. It was just the mixing. It was about, because it's just like loads of synth layers, because I'm not much of a like keys player, so I just have like a lot of simple synth rhythmic parts just all layered up. So there was something like, including the question, there was like 35 separate audio tracks that was mixing, and it just got, I don't know, it got to the point where no matter how well I mixed it, it just sounded terrible, because dopamine had just gone, left my body. So
you just stopped oscillating at that point.
Yeah, it was not liking the way that I was oscillating myself. No.
Well, obviously that's your biggest sort of ball ache that you've had, but out of all the ones that you've done, is there a sort of a particular favourite that you always find yourself coming back to?
Production wise, the one that I'm most happy with would be Slumpy Dawkins. Reason being, I actually released that tune a few years ago, completely like different recording. Everything was DI, it was loads of delay, auto wah, and absolutely everything was what I was going for back then. But so yeah, re-recording that, and then I suppose the writing process wasn't part of the recording process, so it was just much more streamlined, and I could just get it done. I got that done really quickly, so I'm quite happy with that production wise. But I'm kind of, I suppose it's not very good to say, but I'm kind of sick of it all, really. Just because
Really?
hopefully that won't last, but working on stuff yourself, obviously you've got to record it, you've got to write it, you've got to mix it, and then you've got to master it, and by the time it's released, you're done with it. Like, not only have you listened to it loads, you've performed it loads, and yeah, so there are some days when it's been a while since I've listened to it last, and I'll put it on. It's like, it's all right.
This again.
Yeah, but just kind of focusing on some new stuff now.
Fair. Well, actually, that kind of also brings me into my next question, which I was going to say. Obviously, with you doing everything by yourself and having sort of the pressure to be your own critic, really, has there sort of been a time recently or in the past where you've just thought, why am I doing this? And you sort of wanted to just give up on it and find something else?
As in then music, or just than
Yes,
the
just
specific?
music.
Oh, then music in general. No.
Yeah.
So there's
No.
sometimes I do sit there and I will think, like, why am I doing this? I'm not making any money. I'm losing loads of money, and stuff. But no, like, I'm definitely, whatever happens, even if I don't make a career of it, I'm gonna carry on doing music. It's my favorite thing to do. Even when it's driving me crazy, I realise, just from a mental health perspective, I'm never bored, and I'd rather be obsessing over something and going crazy than just have like nothing to do, or I don't know. Yeah, I'll always be sticking with it. I'll just.
Do you think? Oh, sorry, my bad.
I'll just descend more and more into madness, and hopefully it'll help.
Just means mad at tunes, though, doesn't it? I was gonna say, with sort of like today's technology, obviously we've got Spotify, we've got Apple Music, we've got SoundCloud, with so many people uploading so much all the fucking time. Do you think it's become harder for sort of original material to be heard and seen now? Or do you think it sort of worked in the grand aspect of things of saying like, well, you can put it out there and maybe it might be seen?
I have very conflicting opinions on this. So I love how it's so easy to get your music out there. I think Spotify is the first time in a while that like bedroom artists have got a chance for people to listen to. They've got the playlist feature where you might get on a playlist, but again, that becomes obsessive because like you can just be aiming to get on a playlist all the time, and then you do, and then you're off it, and then you're not anything. Well, you are. So I mean, anything else, but I don't know. Yeah, I like Spotify. The music industry is doing a lot better since Spotify, but it is very saturated, and because of the playlist. I feel like everything's very pigeonholed. Everyone's just like, I don't know, right into a brief. There are a lot of people who aren't, but
Yeah.
lots of people who are, and I just can't see how that's any fun.
Yeah, I think that's definitely, a lot of people share that opinion that it's sort of, it's just so clustered, I think, because that's the thing, no matter where you go, Instagram, Facebook, even Reddit, you've got musicians obviously all live streaming at once, and there's just such a vast amount. It's a bit overwhelming at times, and it's sort of like, oh shit, but who do I go to first? And that's unfortunately why I think a lot of people then sort of struggle in the music industry, because they've had to compete with the fucking 25,000 other people who are at the exact same time doing what they're doing. So it's kind of like you said, it's a bit conflicting, because although it is a blessing that bedroom artists have the opportunity to sort of put themselves out there, you are then obviously then have the negative fact of, well, if I'm doing it, so is half the fucking world at the same time. Do you know what I mean? But
I suppose it's a shame that it has to be a competition, but any industry is really. But yeah, like there's also certain artists that are successful who are specifically not following the mold. So Mark Rebier, for example, is doing his ridiculous videos just every day. He was doing it at one point. Did the Mad Tour. So that's like a completely unique path to success that's really worked. I remember Wolfpack had a load of crazy marketing strategies that like did them really well. Like the upload the silence to Spotify.
yeah, man, that was mad.
got like 20 grand or something. So hopefully it is inspiring more people to get more creative. Like I actually quite enjoy. It's a bit annoying, but I enjoy the marketing side of things. Like that's why I do the Robo Dukun thing. Just so I'm not like marketing myself. Like it's more of a character. I get to do like imagery and stuff like that. But yeah, it's not. I suppose it's not for everyone.
With your character, is there anything that you've sort of, obviously we've spoken about Mark, but is there like someone that you know, or is it based off of something, or is it something that you've just literally made up yourself?
Oh no, it's basically made up myself. So the name like Robo Dukun. So Dukun is like Malaysian form of like a shaman or a witch doctor. I just
Right.
liked how clunky it sounded. Dukun. And then Robo, obviously, because we've got me robotic things. I'll stop doing that. Sorry.
No, it's all good, man.
And but yeah, so because I'm generally like quite a reserved person. When I was going by like Tom Holden, just my normal name, I found it really hard to get stuff out to like advertise myself on stage. I didn't know what I was doing. But yeah, so it's what I try and do is take for each song. I take a really exaggerated aspect of my personality, just like blow it up, and then I'll base a song on that. So, latest Frontier, for example, I'm just talking about how ridiculously creepy I am. I want my dinner. That I then go to this like super confident, just but also self-deprecating kind of really mank.
The one line that always sticks me out for that song is "People are dying. It's fucking funny, isn't it?"
Trying to be a bit, just trying like a new edge for satire instead of just like mocking people, like mocking
Yeah.
me as a person to like, I don't know, hold up a mirror to everyone else. But it's not
Yeah.
like do what I do. It's like don't do what I do.
With you saying obviously like in the past you've obviously advertised yourself as Tom Holden. Now that you've got this Robo Dukun obviously named to you, is there any plans to sort of bring this experience to sort of like a live environment? Eventually, anyway. Yeah.
So yeah, as much as I love the loop stuff, it gets really annoying after a while. You've got to. I'm always setting up longer than I actually end up on stage. So I've always got to have my headphones in, and I want to perform, but if I just had the keyboard, then it'd be fine. But because I'm mainly a guitarist, I'm like picking that up, and then I'm messing about with the mixer and everything. I don't really have time to perform because I'm just like pressing buttons and making sure all the cues are right. So really hoping to like get a band thing like started, as we have spoken. You on drums,
Yes.
um,
Yes.
and then yeah, just I really that'd help a lot. Just writing as well. Like I'm quite
Yeah.
limited with what I can do percussion wise at the moment. Um, yeah, just I think that'd be really nice. I had like the
Yeah, man.
first jam that I've had in ages the other day, and it was I just forgot who I was until then, and so
Yeah.
yeah, I'm really looking forward to that.
Yeah, nice, man. That sort of another question of sort of on being live. Would you obviously you said about doing with a band. What is your ideal gig? Would it be just you and sort of a very small personal environment, or would you rather do one of the sort of big venues, loads of fucking people, big live band behind you, and make it as fucking brash as possible?
Well, I would like both experiences, but I don't know. I like the intimate stuff, mate. Where you can interact with people. You're actually feeling the. It's not just like a massive. Not that I've never experienced that, but yeah, I like the small ones. The awkward bit of getting off stage and then going to who you're with, and everyone's talking about, oh, great, that was great, instead of going backstage and disappearing. I love all that. It's just, yeah, it's
Yeah,
more fun.
fair. Within the next sort of 5 years, where where would you sort of like to be? Is there any sort of plan that you've got for the future, or is it sort of a take it as it comes sort of idea that you've got?
take it as it comes, but I don't think that's necessarily the best way to be. Yeah, I'm very driven. Like I'll spend a lot of time on music, and I'll barely see my friends sometimes just because I'm sorry, I'm working for free.
Yeah.
But yeah, I have no idea what's even going to happen to the world in 5 years. I'm sure it'll be here. I'm sure it'll be fine. But
Well, maybe at this rate.
mm, might collapse. I might be king. I don't know. Um, yeah, I'm hoping. I do want to make a career out of music. I don't want. I'm not super famous or anything like that. But just as long as I can still do it and I can just carry on doing it as much as I want, and it's fun, then that's the dream, really.
Yeah, I think that's a very good sort of point to work to. I definitely feel like the higher you put it, the more pressure you put on yourself. And then if you don't reach the goals that you've set out, then you're just like, well, why the fuck am I doing this? And then you end up just having a massive fucking mental breakdown about it. So I definitely think what you've said, like just sort of taking it as it comes, but you've got a part that you'd like to get to is a good way, because obviously it then relieves the stress of I have to be this all the time, and you can just sort of take it as it comes and sort of free flow into it, really.
Absolutely. My main dream now is to not have to work for anyone. I just don't want to do that anymore.
Nah.
So even I'm just scraping through, making my own music, or I don't know, something musical, then I'll be really happy, because trying to like balance the two, having a job and then doing the music, it's just, I don't know, it's just not fun.
No, especially when obviously you're so committed to music as well. That previously when I had a job and I was doing bands, I always found that whenever I was at work, all I was thinking about was just going home and doing music. It's like it's all I want to do, and then I started sort of turning against my job because I'm like, why the fuck am I doing this when I could be doing music right now? Is that sort of the sort of same thing you feel?
Yeah, thinking about music all the time when I'm at the job, but then when I get home to work on the music, I'm thinking about the job. I'm thinking about, oh no, did I do a good job? Was I not just too distracted? And I don't know, I just don't like having a boss, really. I just,
No.
even if it's a super nice person, I just don't like someone telling me what to do. Not because I'm rebellious or anything. It's that I will do it, like anything. I'm a little bitch, and yeah. So I just need to be my own little bitch, really. That's it.
Yeah, I think it's the creative freedom as well, because there's no one telling you, oh, you can't do that, or yeah, do that, but maybe do this instead. It's just sort of, well, I can do what I want. I worked as a session musician for 2.5 years, under the guise of someone else telling me who to work for, where to go to. And as soon as I came to BIM, I became my own boss, and it's the most fantastic feeling ever, because I thought, do I want to work today? Nah, fuck it, I don't have to. It's up to me to do what I want to do. Obviously, a bad example, but it's just knowing that you have that freedom to do what you want when you want.
Yeah, absolutely. And I've noticed trying to be my own boss. Like I've said, I've not managed to really monetize it much. Um, but I am a very hardworking person. Like I won't stop until I'm not only satisfied, but just beyond that. I'll just keep going until my brain stops working. So um, hopefully that's a sign that things might work.
Yeah.
I probably need a bit more confidence than that though. But yeah, hopefully things might work.
Nice. You should get that quote. Get as like a massive quote, stick it on Facebook. Have like one of those fucking shitty Tom Hardy pictures next to it. Oh mate, please don't. Make a good music video though. The music video could just be you having it tattooed. Is there sort of any venue, not just in Manchester, but just in general, that you absolutely fucking aspire to play?
I'm not too sure. My favorite gig that I did was actually on flat fields. Just not because it was
Oh,
flat fields
mad.
in Fallowfield, but just 'cause it was outside. Like I really like the festival scene. I like people being able to just sit on the grass, zone in, zone out. Me just kind of like doing my thing. That's the well for loop pedal stuff anyway. Kind of
Hmm.
just like being outside just on a nice sunny day. You can get into it. They don't have to. I like that.
Where did you play Platfields?
It was Envirolution Festival last year. So it's like a pro environment festival. It was really cool.
I went to a festival last year at Platfield Park, and I can't remember if it's the same one. I just know I went and there was like shit tons going on. But
yeah, it probably was. Oh, it might have been
Man.
they have like a carnival as well.
yeah, maybe. I'm unsure.
It's good though.
One of the
Yeah,
two.
I really enjoyed that. Sometimes actual indoor gigs, if you've got like a band to bounce off, then it's great. But it's just that kind of forced atmosphere of everyone just stare at the band. It can be great, and then the alternative is that they don't pay any attention to the band or the artist, and they'll just be being loud, talking to each other. But if you're on stage, like especially me, I'm so receptive. So if I'm getting a response like that, I'll just shut down. I won't know what to do with myself. Whereas if
Mm.
outside, people are wandering in and out, then I can just kind of run in. So I'm not sure. Just a festival in a nice sunny place and some trees. Love those.
Nice.
Yeah.
Dope.
Um,
Yeah, I've sort of got a couple of just a couple of silly questions to ask you. Um, the sort of first couple of ones are, so I'm going to give you two genres. I want you to keep one of them, but the other one gets wiped from existence. So the first one is funk and jazz.
oh, what? Ah, even all the ah even all the funky side of jazz. So there's no you can't bleed through.
No, strictly just funk jazz.
Well, I'd have to keep jazz just because it's more encompassing. Even though I find myself with funk, I suppose it's more of a pigeonholed thing, so I wouldn't be losing as much. But without jazz, like, what would we be doing?
Fair.
I don't know. What would we be doing? There'd be no funk if
Yeah.
there's no jazz. So
Yeah.
definitely
All
keep the jazz.
be 12-minute abstract pieces, wouldn't it? There was actually a guy I spoke to. He went to this thing in Huddersfield Festival, and there was a guy who did a half an hour set with clocks. It was just clocks all just set up playing like in time with each other, and it was just literally the sound of just. But it worked so well that it was just a guy playing the clocks. So I guess that would be the world we'd be in without jazz.
You'd still have funk, so you could do like funky clock tunes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I suppose if it's just ticking away, you can't really get. But yeah, jazz. I love
Jazz.
funk, but we'll have to keep jazz.
Fair. You're gonna absolutely hate this next one, I guess. I think, and that's psychedelic or indie.
Oh no, get rid of indie. I don't dislike
Okay.
it. It depends how you define it. Obviously, the roots of it being just anyone sort of like on an independent label. But
Mhm.
how indie's defined these days, I don't really. I don't know. Like the Matt DeMarco side of it, brilliant. I love that. It's got its kind of more weird vibe to it, but general just kind of like plinky plonky indie. I don't really listen to stuff like that. So
Fair.
yeah, you can't get rid of psychedelic music, I'm afraid.
It's too. I'm not sort of too indulged in psychedelic. I don't know too many. I listen to like King Gizzard and Lizard Wizard. I don't know if you can count them, but Tame Impala as well, and obviously you as well. And I think literally those three artists are about as far as I've gone. So I don't really know sort of who else is the pioneers of psychedelic.
I don't really think too strongly about genres. Like defining myself, I say psychedelic funk just because I had to put something there. Like sometimes I'll be writing ballads or whatever, but for me, psychedelic music is just kind of anything cerebral. So I don't really just think of like. I suppose you've got just what people call psych, which is like Tame Impala, you've got Unknown Mortal Orchestra, all the modern kind of things. But
Oh yeah, Unknown Orchestra.
I'd say it goes well back. If I can consider something specifically unpsychedelic, then I probably won't like it. But I've got quite a loose definition. Just anything that gets
Fair.
you thinking.
Yeah.
Mm.
That's why I like. They're not technically psychedelic, but I feel some of their songs are. That's why I love Radiohead so much, because so many of their tunes that I just sit there and I'm just like, oh my god, life, man. Just sort of sit and have a wonder about it.
Even though they wouldn't ever be pigeonholed like this in a magazine or whatever, I'd define them as very psychedelic.
Mm-hmm.
Probably that kind of music that got me onto the more like experimental side of things. I was listening to them from like a very young age. So
Well, now that I know you're a Radiohead fan, I've got another question for you. I always have one saved just in case someone likes Radiohead. But the final genres I'd make you choose between are rap and soul.
ah, ooh. We get rid of rap. Can we still keep like hip hop? So the like the shuffle, the
Yeah. Yes. All right. Yeah, I'll allow
and
it.
can we kind of rap? Nah. I listen to more hip hop than I do soul. Or what you define as soul, but soulful hip hop. Oh God. Um, specific if it's just specifically rap, and I love rap, but I'd have to say rap because soul just I don't know, it's too much going for it. So
Fair. I'd probably say the same for that, to be honest. Um, yeah. So being as I know that you absolutely love Radiohead, I'd like to hear your top three albums in order. So yeah, do third, then second, then first.
so third, and this is an unpopular one, but I really like it. I think King of Limbs is great.
Oh man, it's a fucking banger.
Yeah, I don't know why. I suppose it's the time that I was listening to it was quite important for me. Would have been like 16, 17. So when I was really getting into music, just like when you leave education, you actually start having some real opinions about things instead of being taught. So yeah, it might have been the time, but I think it's a great album.
Mm-hmm.
Followed by Hail to the Thief.
Yes. Oh my god. Out of every single person I've ever asked, no one ever mentions Hail to the Thief. And for me, it's my favourite album out of all of them. I think it's their best one. But no one mentions it. No one at all.
I'm kind of teetering that maybe that joint first, but In Rainbows is just a masterpiece. It's just brilliant.
Everyone says In Rainbows.
Yeah, I think that might be because that was the album that was out as I like really started getting into Radiohead. That was like the latest one. It is a masterpiece. Yeah, like 15 Step. I remember the first time I heard 15 Step, and it felt weirdly nostalgic. Like, oh, I remember this as a kid, and then I realized the album had only just come out. It's like, oh no, it didn't exist. So yeah, quite. It might have been the time. Like, it might be a nostalgia thing. It might have been the time that I listened to these albums. Like the older album, like Hail to the Thief, I didn't actually listen to more recently, as in not very recently, but like afterwards anyway. But yeah, it's very very close between the two and one. But yeah, I'd probably have to say In Rainbows is just perfect.
No, I'd say that's a very good fucking list, to be honest. I don't know if you've listened to. I know this is going a bit off topic, but if you've seen Tom York's, I think it's Anima, his video thing on Netflix.
No, I'd listened to. That's the name of his new EP, isn't it? Yes.
Yes, yeah, he did that for the Netflix um 15-minute film thing.
Oh, okay. I didn't know about that. No, so
Oh
that's
my
on
god, man.
Netflix now. Yeah.
Yeah, it's literally 15 minutes long, and it's just it tells a story, but all through dance. And Tom York's like the lead character of it all, and he has like the EP playing in certain situations whilst it's happening. And like I watched it and was just fucking mind blown, man. It's incredible. It's so good.
Why don't I know about that? Well, I have no idea. Why I've not heard of that. Yeah, I'm gonna watch that as soon as we finish this. Oh, great.
Nice,
Nice
man. Yeah,
man.
let
Yeah,
me know
let me
what
know
you
what you
think.
think.
Yeah, I
It's
really, I liked the. Was it Black Swan? No, it wasn't. What was Tom York's other? It used to be my favorite album. His first solo album. It's got Black Swan on it, and I'm just very sleep deprived. But yeah, I do like Tom York.
yeah, man, beautiful man. I wanted to get tickets to come and see him this year because obviously he was playing Manchester, but they sold out like that, and then obviously the pandemic hit, so no one got to see him anyway. So I felt a little bit better about myself after that. It was about 88 quid, I think it was. Yeah, I don't know if you know Piran Aston, one of the photographers in Manchester, best photographer at BIM, easily. Incredible man, but he's fucking biggest Radiohead fan I've ever met in my entire life, and I think he got like priority tickets and paid like £110 to go and see him, which are just fucking insane.
Every time there's the opportunity comes up, it's like might not get this opportunity again. I don't know why I think that because they haven't stopped, have they? They've just been going and
No.
going and going. Well, Radiohead anyway.
Mm.
But yeah, as far as gigs go, that's an experience that I really need to make sure I do have.
Yeah,
Yeah,
man,
man.
I fully. Yeah, I've just got a couple more. So sort of on the topic of music and what you prefer, if you had to listen to one song for the rest of your life, what would it be? That would be the song in every TV show, every radio station, every video game, everything that you'd sing in your head would just be this one song. What would it be?
Um, First, I was thinking maybe choose a bad song so that I don't mind it being ruined, but I don't get to listen to any of the good songs. So it'd have to be something pretty chill. The song that or tune that I have that took me the longest to get sick of was Mystic Brew by Ronnie Foster. It's like a jazz tune. I don't know if you've heard Electric Relaxation by Tribe Called Quest. It's
I
the
have not.
they sampled it, but it's just a lovely um, yeah, it's just a nice little jazz piece, kind of like solo piece. I always used to put it on, no matter what mood I was in. It was just like reset. It's like, oh, I feel great. And
Nice.
that was my favorite tune for like almost a year. And I'd listened to it loads, and I never got sick of it. Doesn't quite have the same response now, but just based off that, I think logically I should go with that one. It's not too jarring. It's just kind of nice.
Hmm.
Mm. And
Nice.
no vocals as well, so no one to just get sick of, no one to eventually hate. That would be hell though, no matter what song.
Yeah, I was thinking about that. I asked a fellow who I interviewed just before you the same question. He just sat there for about 5 minutes going, "But whatever I pick, it's gonna be bullshit. I'm just gonna fucking hate it either way." And I was like, "Yeah, but you still got to pick one, ain't you?" I think I mine's a really weird one. I always go for "Sit Down, Stand Up" by Radiohead because I just yeah, man. I don't know why something about that song, man. Just it just blows my mind. So I think hearing that all the time would certainly get to me. But I think for the first couple of years, I could probably deal with it for a little while before I then started to what I don't know, fucking deafen myself.
No, great song, but yes, I can imagine that would be quite intense. But
All the time. Just the fucking when the drop hits, just you know, imagine going to someone's funeral and that's someone's funeral song and it just fucking hits. You're like, oh, okay, shit, right, all right. Well, he can't. He's dead now. But if you could have one album for the rest of your life, what would it be?
ooh, that's a bit nice. One album for the rest of my life. One album. I'm trying to think of something varied, but again, it will be something that I don't want to get too sick of too soon, so it might have to be chill. Um, so I'm just gonna go through a few, and then we'll shortlist it. So Solid Air, John Martin, that was a um, big one for me for quite a while, and I still love it, and it's nice and chill, and so that could be a contender. I want to say Apostrophe by Frank Zappa, but imagine listening to that over and over again, especially the mad xylophone bits. The St. Alfonso's pancake breakfast. It's
Just
such
make
a good
it fucking
album.
stop.
Yeah, after one listen, but I think that is possibly the one of my favorite albums. Then I've also got, it's dead obvious, but Abbey Road by the Beatles. I only recently realised that was like one of my favorite albums. Like I knew it, but
Nice.
all the way through, it's just such a perfect album.
I'm still sort of coming into the Beatles. I spent so long not liking them because everyone just used to fucking sing it at me, and I just never liked it. And then I watched the film Yesterday that was about them. If you don't know if you've seen that, it's a film about a guy. Yeah, I watched that and I realised like how many songs by the Beatles I actually knew, and I was like, oh shit, I actually know quite a few of these. So I've started to sort of kind of breach into the Beatles world, but I don't know too much about them yet. But I know a lot of people rave about Abbey Road, or is it Sergeant Pepper?
Yeah, Sergeant Pepper, good album.
Yeah.
Yeah, the more psychedelic stuff. I do like the Beatles a lot, but I I think Abbey Road is just its own thing. It's better than everything else that the Beatles have ever done by a long
Yeah.
shot, in my opinion. There are some great Beatles songs, but I don't know. That album's just great. It's just got everything. Brilliant.
Yeah.
Perfect. So that's a contender. I might just drive myself as crazy as possible and go with Apostrophe by Frank Zappa. Just if I'm gonna listen to something, just make it as hard as possible, but interesting, and maybe give myself a lifelong goal to just learn it note for note. So yeah,
Fair. So Frank Zappa.
Apostrophe. Yeah.
Nice. Fair do, man. Yeah, just one final one, and this is a big one. So I'm hoping that you're going to choose right because I really like your stuff, and I don't want to have to stop listening to it if you pick the wrong answer. And that's custard creams or chocolate bourbons.
Um, I used to love custard creams, but I'm a vegan and only bourbons are vegan, so I'd have to choose them ones. Oh, is it the right answer?
It is the right answer, correct.
Yeah. I
Correct.
mean, they're great as well. They're great as well. That was a proper like farty answer. That they're both great. the one that I'm allowed.
No, I'm so glad you picked that. So many people give me the most bullshit reasons. It's like, oh man, but you're just wrong. You're just explaining why you're wrong. But cool. Thank you for tuning in to this artist profile with the one and only Robo Dukun. Thank you very much for being here, mate. I would just like to remind you all that I am currently doing a giveaway for £35 of Amazon vouchers because I'm feeling that fucking splendid. So all you have to do, if you don't know already, is just comment 2 words, Amazon Flamazon, on any of my videos, and you will be entered in with a chance to win £35 of Amazon vouchers. You could buy yourself, I don't know, a vase to put some fucking flowers in or some shit. I don't know. You do what you want with them. But yeah, massive thank you to Robo Dukun. Is there anything that you would like to promote? Anything that you've got to scream out for us to go and do?
I won't scream, but yeah. So my EP's on Spotify. Go Robo Dukun by Robo Dukun. Go and give that a listen. Check me out on social medias and doing stuff on if you search Robo Duke and nothing else comes up, that's one of the reasons I'm called it. So
Nice.
Just give me some attention, please.
Well, I'll ensure to link all of Robo Dukun's socials down below and also on the screen as you can see right now. And yeah, pretty much just thank you ever so much for being here and talking to me, and thank you for watching as well. Thank you very much, and have a nice day.